How many of you think strategy requires retreats? Maybe even whiteboards, and maybe very, very long planning sessions. But the most effective professionals don't plan more, they review better. Progress doesn't come from thinking harder once a year. It comes from checking alignment consistently. When you make SWOT a weekly habit, growth stops being accidental and starts becoming intentional. So, in this episode, we're going to break down strategy into something that might be simple for you. Hopefully, it will be repeatable for you and powerful enough to keep your career and your business moving forward. Let's talk about it right after this.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
When was the last time you intentionally reviewed how you're doing? Not emotionally, but strategically. And I could speak from, again, my own experience of looking at things and reviewing where I am, where I could be, what I need to do, what I should do, whatever it might have been. And I was very, very, very emotional about it because we as entrepreneurs, we're so caught up in what we're doing. We want to make a change. We want to make a difference. We want to affect people, impact people, whatever it is. And our emotions are so wrapped up in it. Our time, our energy, our finances are so wrapped up in it that it becomes so emotional that we cannot move forward because we don't want to hear the negative information. And so I did not review my information consistently. And so I want you to understand today that strategy fails when it's infrequent. And so for myself, I can most definitely attest to that because that had to be a part of my strategy plan of understanding what's being said. And so waiting months to assess what progress I've achieved allows small issues to become major setbacks. And so if we're moving in a very in a position or a place or a space and not addressing what our challenges are, now they have become a major problem moving forward. And so some of us, we need weekly reviews because sometimes it creates awareness while adjustments are still manageable. It could be a monthly situation as well. It depends on the situation. And consistency transforms strategy from theory into traction. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things that helped me in my career, for those of you who are in still working your 9 to 5, and what has also helped me in business, I had to implement in my own place, which was I had, now in customer service spaces, I might have had a weekly review of where I was, what I was doing, or whatever it might have been. And so that allowed me to stay on track. And a lot of times, it was beneficial because I knew what I need to do as far as answering the phones, giving out information, whatever it might have been. And so same thing helped me in the business, where I had to start to review what I did or didn't do. Again, if one of your weaknesses are or inconsistencies is follow-up, which some of it is because of there's 1,000 things going on. But now that could be a major issue because you didn't follow up with this client or getting this product out or whatever it is. Now you have a bad review on Yelp. So I think you need to consider this, that weekly SWOT analyses keeps you honest. And a honest and simple weekly check-in with your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, if you don't know what SWOT means, this helps you and forces opportunities of clarity. It removes the assumptions and replaces them with the facts. And professionals who review regularly, for those of you who really review regularly, make fewer emotional decisions, and those decisions that you are making are more aligned with what your mission and vision can and will be. And then as you're reviewing, I want you to understand that these small adjustments can ultimately create big results. Just like if you don't understand it and address the small issues that become major setbacks, small adjustments can create big results. And so you don't need a massive change every week because, unfortunately, that shows inconsistency as well. I want you to consider you just need some minor corrections. Maybe improve a habit that you do every week. Maybe clarify the priority for your team. And maybe one boundary that grows because you're compounding on it every day, every week. Hey, we need to smile. Like, we need to make sure that this is handled every week. And then now that's coming and progressing into a meaningful process. So I need you to think about it, that careers and businesses drift when the strategy is treated as an option. And that we also need to understand that weekly reflections prevents us from being misaligned with our mission. It identifies some of the missed opportunities. And it helps us to understand that we are growing intentionally. And what does this all mean? We are developing discipline and not just motivation, which helps us to sustain our progresses and our successes. So, strategy, whatever strategy you come up with, whatever strategy plan you come up with, it doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. And when you review it regularly, now you can start reacting and start leading. A lot of times we react because, or our reactions based off of the emotion, surprises, or whatever it might be. And so now if you're leading with intention, imagine really what your team could be like in the next 3 to 6 months, let alone 3 to 6 minutes. Consider that. Look at that. Understand what your strengths, weaknesses, and threats are. Now, you might say, well, Maurice, you missed one, being opportunities. Again, if you listen to another podcast episode, sometimes we feel like opportunities can be danger. So we really, and I want to highlight that because if we really understand what the opportunities are and we're constantly understanding and reviewing what they are, where can we be? So I would like for you to block out 15 minutes this week. And I would like for you to really run and execute your very first, starting this process, your first weekly SWOT analysis. Because I really want you to consider this, that growth favors those who reviews their information, i.e. the feedback loop. I thank you very much for listening. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?